On July 22nd, Japan's Emperor Napoleon B2 announced the start of a collectivization program which indirectly led to the exile of a Japanese citizen. Today's video is about lore in the Earth SMP, a political Minecraft server with countries that you can join. Check the description. To understand how this all happened, we're going to look back to July 16, the day that Napoleon arrived in Japan. He went to Tokyo with another person that will be shown later in the video. Tokyo was very primitive. It lacked good infrastructure and had no proper organization. Soon fires began to arise in the east of the city, and slowly the fires spread to the west of the city. After the fires were cleared and Tokyo was burned to the ground, it would arise from the ashes. Houses and roads were constructed, and soon Tokyo was a booming city with many projects and plans for the future. On July 22nd, Tokyo looked like this. Tokyo included a large harbor, there were several buildings such as a store, and there were houses, but most important for this video, there was Mugdu Farms. Mugdu Farms was created when player Mugdu joined the Japan nation. He began to increase his farms and he claimed a large chunk of land without warning the state of Japan, and soon he had controlled an area bigger than the sector that would be used for the houses and buildings. During this rise of wealth, Artejarkon, the general of the army and the head of state, asked Napoleon whether he could make a constitution to decrease the wealth of certain players and centralize and collectivize the nation. The constitution of Japan was accepted and Artejarkon would work on it. Mugdu Farms was asked whether he would agree with sharing more, because Mugdu Farms had started to grow and also become more independent from the nation of Japan. Mugdu Farms worked for himself. Mine products wouldn't be put in the national storage, but rather kept for himself. He therefore declined, as he felt nothing to owe to Japan. Tsartankenjoyer, the governor of the Kosei Province Admiralty, a puppet state created by the Imperial Japanese state, was also briefed for the plan to slightly tax products such as wheat to get Mugdu to join the collectivization more and try to let him lean to a more social Japan where everything was put into the national storage and could be taken from the national storage to avoid players getting too wealthy. Tsar agreed with this constitution, which not only hid the laws of the country of Japan, but also the taxes for certain working groups. Mugdu was asked several times to participate in a bit forced collectivization, but he still denied as he didn't owe anything to Japan. Napoleon was wondering what they would do, as Artejarkon and him both found it bad that Mugdu was only using land from Japan and not giving anything back in exchange, like Tsar and themselves did by sharing all their found items with each other. Artejarkon said to murder him, but they would still need to look. All of a sudden, when Napoleon sat in the palace, Mugdu came in and knocked on the door. He dropped the book Mugdu Farms vs. State and left. Napoleon read the book that was containing several points about how he sues Japan for forcing Mugdu Farms to give a percentage to the state, and poor organization that led to hunger because of poor farm usage and dependence on Mugdu Farms. Artejarkon countered his statements by several counter-arguments, and a long discussion and lawsuit went on, until there was a decision. Mugdu Farms needs to share products with Japan because Mugdu Farms uses land and gives nothing back, and is independent instead of helping Japan grow. The emperor had to log off, but he asked Artejarkon to kill Mugdu if necessary to do so. After he left, Mugdu went to Kosei, which looked conspiring. He later came back, and then Artejarkon asked him to take on civilian clothes, rather than diamond armor. On July 24th, 0027 CEST, Artejarkon killed Mugdu with a stab from a sword and a shot by a bow, in a very anticlimactic way. Mugdu has been exiled from Japan and banned from Japanese homeland. Mugdu left to Mongolia and joined the Mongolian Khanate. Tsar, governor of Kosei, now could join Japan and use the farms of Mugdu to produce food for Japan. He was replaced by high command for a player named Singai. Singai will become the new governor of the Kosai Province Admiralty. This was the crazy story of how a small farm in Tokyo led a rebellion against the Japanese state for a simple request to pay taxes and share products, because Mugdu farms had to deliver something to the state due to him using fertile and usable land. Not to mention, Japan itself had quite some food left, but Japan merely requested Mugdu farms to become more open and share the resources to equally split wealth. Subscribe.